Scores 26 reporting. Targeting systems online. Watch that. Friends are marked. Copy that. AK-46. Set scan range. Do not engage the buildings. I repeat, do not engage the buildings.
The fast life ends abruptly behind heavily guarded walls, dreadful and cruel. Those branded as criminals are held captive with the walls closing in on them. Perhaps even the gods fear the gloom and the hopelessness there. Intimidation begins by being confined to those limited spaces. The monotony, the mental agony lie etched to the faces of the inmates. Most of them suffer from acute depression. Prison condition in India is substandard and unhealthy as they are frequently life-threatening and do not meet international standards. Problem of overcrowding, congestion, increase in the proportion of under-trial prisoners, the inadequacy of prison staff, lack of health and hygienic facilities, torture and ill treatment, insufficient communication, and so forth. Jails in India are flooded with hundreds of people languishing for years, even though no court has found them guilty. Most of them are young and barely literate, and many are so poor that they can't afford the bail fee. Statistics on Indian prisons reveal that 68% of prisoners in India are those who have not been convicted by any court for any crime. Many among them have to wait for years before the trial court even begins hearing their cases. The powerful, the rich, and influential obtain bail promptly and with ease, whereas the masses, the common, the poor, languish in jails. This prevalence puts human dignity at stake. Illiteracy, youth, and socio-economic backwardness are thus the defining characteristics of an average Indian prisoner. Prison populations are at the margins of welfare, rights, and basic entitlements. Prison reform is one remedy to the ineffectiveness of our justice system that many states and the federal government have explored. The purposes of these reforms are retribution, incapacitation, deterrence, and rehabilitation. It is an attempt at improving the conditions inside the walls of the prison. Some recommendations were given by the Supreme Court for the same. For every prisoner, one free phone call a day to be allowed so that they can adapt better. To improve the low grade and unhygienic conditions of the kitchens, adaptation of modern cooking facilities was recommended. To control overcrowding, more staff should be hired and trials to be held over video conferences. It was suggested under special fast track courts that for every 30 prisoners, one lawyer should be appointed. The government introduced a web application for under-trial prisoners under the National Legal Services Authorities. The modernization of prison scheme was introduced, with its objective being to improve the overall conditions of the prison, the prisoners, and the prison personnel, to give a centralized approach to the prisoners. Model Prison Manual 2016 was introduced with information regarding all the free services which are provided to the prisoners. The under-trial prisoners were informed of all the free legal aid facilities provided to them by the Ministry of Home Affairs.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you all to Heart Out Talk.
Today we have two correctional officers with us, Mr. Lakshya Saraugi and Mr. Nakshatra Bala.
Thank you for calling us here.
It's our pleasure to have you both with us, sir.
Let's begin with the interview.
What are the basic facilities provided to a prisoner, sir?
So the prisoners are provided with the basic amenities and one phone call per day, and they also have access to the library.
Are there any educational courses available for the prisoners?
Educational courses available to prisoners, and they can even give competitive exams within the jail.
Sir, what all activities are practiced in jail?
There are various jobs such as laundry, woodwork, farming, cleaning, and through which they can earn money.
And where do they get to spend their money?
In the jail canteen, yes, on weekly basis.
What about sports activities?
There are various sports activities available to the prisoners, and there are various sports competitions held inside the jail for them to participate in.
With more than 17,000 inmates in Tihar jail, how do you keep a check on all of them at once?
Correctional officers hired, and we also have surveillance cameras in each and every corner of the jail to keep a check on inmates and successfully control the activities of inmates.
To assist in decreasing levels of violence and stress within the prison, sports and recreation activities are available to inmates. These activities are designed to promote a healthy lifestyle in an effort to decrease medical costs.
A criminal has committed the crime as per his belief system. As per him, he was doing the right deed, at least at that particular moment. For others, it may not seem right, and that is because they have different beliefs. Each and every individual work as per his or her set of beliefs. And thus, it is very important to understand that a person should not be hated for his or her crime, as they already are in a lot of pain and misery, which has led them to do the wrong thing. The real punishment is when we hate crime and not the criminal, and we punish it and shower love and compassion on the criminal so that he and she heals himself or herself very quickly and replaces the wrong set of beliefs with new ones.